We have a lot to offer here. We are close to nature. We are really quiet town. It's really affordable. Some people will hate it. Some people will just love it.
Hi everyone. So today we have Miss Dianne Chiasson from the Smokey River region, and we'll talk about the Alberta Rural Entrepreneur Stream. What do you think of the entrepreneur stream, and why did the region decide to join this program? What was the need?
We have a few businesses for sale, and because our region is really small, sometimes it's hard to find buyers for those businesses. So that's why we join. For the region, that Entrepreneur Stream is a great program to attract investment in our region and try to take over a few of businesses, because some owner, they are like in the hotel in Girouville, for example. If he doesn't find a buyer pretty soon, he will close the door. And we will lose that business. A few businesses here in Falher too. We used to have a mechanic shop with a tools rental company and a towing all in together. But the owner tried to sell it for many, many years, and now they are ready to give up. So they sold all their businesses except the building.
Right?
They just have the building left because they sold part of their tools rental. They sold all the tools separate instead of selling a business, So it's really hurting the region to lose those services.
Right.
So that's why it's give us a great opportunity to try to attract other people.
Well, that makes a lot of sense.
We have a few businesses for sale that will be listed on a website. The website is smokeyriverjob.ca. You will have the list of all the jobs available in the region, but also all the businesses for sale. Talk about the businesses we have for sale. We have 2 hotels for sale, one in Falher, one in Girouville. They are older buildings, but both hotel has a restaurant in it. One is operated by the owner, the one in Girouville, and the one in Falher is rented out. In that hotel in Falher, you have a bar, empty space that it used to be a liquor store. We have a car wash too. We have a few building that used to be mechanic shop for sale, that if someone has their own idea for a different business or manufacture, that is an option. We have empty lot too. If people is thinking of opening a business or giving a service, a particular service. We have to keep in mind that we are a small region. The 5 municipality has just under 4,000 people living in those 5 municipalities. So it's quite small. Because we are quite small, we don't have a lot of opportunity for franchise, like restaurant franchise or store. We have a franchise. We have a Subway restaurant in Falher. But I think to have a franchise, it's hard when you don't have a lot of people living in. The profile of the applicant, as you know, the program has their own requirement. So you have to have a minimum experience on managing businesses and education and everything. That we cannot change it.
Right. And in the Smokey River region, like you mentioned, there are a lot of farms as well. Are any farms up for sale as well? And can someone purchase a farm to be part of this program?
Maybe they can buy a farm, but I will be really surprised. First of all, you need to have the knowledge to how to operate those big farms. The biggest one, they are run by family. So you can have 2 or 3 kids running the farm plus some staff. So you have different, and some farms, they have a lot, like 30,000 acres of farm land. So it's huge. It's not just a small operation. It's huge just to buy that. And right now, the price for a quarter of land can be close to 700,000. So when you have hundreds of them, it's pretty pricey. You're looking at 77 million Canadian to buy one.
Right.
But they are not all big like that. But a small farm here, it's 1,200 acres.
And they're family owned and generally not for sale, I'm assuming.
No, they are passed on generation to generation. And when they are up for sale, they go to auction.
Okay.
And they divide it. So a neighbor can buy a few quarter of land and another neighbor buy others. But yes, here farming is it's multi-million dollars operation.
What about someone who wants to start a beekeeping business and produce more honey? Is that something that is viable?
Maybe, but again, do you have the knowledge to run that business?
Yep.
And you have to create partnership. You have to find a place to put your beehive. So right now, all the honey producer has agreement with farmer to put their hive on their land for free, and they give like honey in exchange. Okay, so honey business, it's not easy, because right now, depending on the season, if you have too much rain, not enough rain, everything affects the production of honey, the extraction, having people to work with you. Most of the honey producer has worker from outside, because it's just a certain amount of time during the year that they need those workers. So usually it's Philippine or from Costa Rica, Mexico. Those people come at summertime to work in the honey businesses. But it's not an easy task if an organization is for sale, and then they can provide training and all that. But to start a honey business, it will take a lot of research and a lot of, and for those programs, when you buy a business or start a business, you need your business plan as part of your application. So it's a lot of work to do from far away. I'm not saying it's not feasible, but it's going to bring a few challenges.
Right, absolutely. Like only for those who have already done this in other parts of the world, maybe beekeeping. What I gathered so far is the most practical option is to buy the existing businesses that are for sale. And even introducing a new business, someone might have to do a lot of research, because it's not a very big town. Every business might not be ideal for such a region. These businesses that are for sale, is the major challenge like succession? Someone started this business and the kids don't really want to pursue that. They have their other dreams and passions.
And try to find someone to take over. Like, we are a small region, and it's succession. Because
what should be the next step? Like, let's say someone finds a business they're interested in. What should they do after that?
They need to come and visit the region, the business, and then decide if they want to put an offer or not. But to be part of the entrepreneur program, they need to come and visit, okay, as a first step. Right now in February, so far, I have one confirmed that one person will come and visit. They don't want to buy an existing business. They just want to bring their operation from somewhere else here. We have empty buildings. We can accommodate those people. So after they have a visit, then they have to submit a plan, financial projection, everything to see if it will work. And they still have to go through the process of qualified for immigration in Canada. One thing too, that is really important, that they need to work in that business. They cannot come and buy a business and hire people to work and they're not working in the business. So they need to in the business.
They need to stay here and run the business actively.
Yes.
What kind of volume have you experienced so far? Like people who applied for the entrepreneur program or visited?
So far, I just have one customer. I didn't have a whole lot of time to work on that because I have other projects. I have one big project for the hemp industry and try to develop the hemp fiber industry in this region. Like, I'm looking at 5 different municipalities, so I'm quite busy.
Yeah.
I was away for work. I was in the province of Quebec before Christmas. I was in Saskatoon. I travel a little bit for my work, so I didn't have the time. And that website, I tried to have it ready sooner, but it didn't work out. So it should be live this week. When it's live, I will send you the address and I will let you know that it's good to go. So you can go have a look.
Thank you so much. I believe there's some regions who are okay with virtual exploratory visit, but I guess for Smokey River region, you've clearly laid out the criteria that they must physically.
It's just they need to see.
Yeah.
I think we can have a talk on Zoom or something, but they need, because most of the people are coming from the city. You're not going to have someone from rural area from different country. It's really where the people who wants to buy businesses, who has experience in businesses, they are in a city. And here we are, if we look at Peace River kind of thing, we are 75 clicks south of Peace River. And then after that, the bigger center is Grand Prairie, where we are almost 200 clicks, almost 5-hour drive from Edmonton. And some people has a hard time to picture that.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have a lot to offer here. We are close to nature. We are really quiet town. It's really affordable. For example, when I first moved here 20 years ago, I bought a real estate businesses. Could never buy a real estate businesses in Edmonton kind of thing. But because of here, it was more affordable. And then after that, I own another businesses, but it's those opportunities for myself and my family. We couldn't find that in Edmonton because it was way too expensive for us. So that I'm open to Zoom.
Yeah.
And then because I really want to have that visit, because it's hard to. And some people will hate it here because we are so far away, but some people will just love it.
Absolutely.
When we first moved here, when the first weekend we came and tried to find a place to stay, my husband looked at me and said, "Are you sure you want to work here?" I said, "I have a fabulous job and give me 2 years and it will be a stepping stone and we will have a good job in Edmonton." But you know what? Within the 2 years, I bought 2 businesses and I make my living here. I just sold them not too long ago, around 10 years ago. And now I'm having a great job too. So I don't want to move and my husband too. But our first impression was, what are we going to do here? And yes, some people will hate it. Some people will just love it. And it's hard to give that feeling over a Zoom conference.
That's a very valid point, because if people have an image of big cities in their mind, when they come here, they might be shocked. It could be a pleasant shock as well for a lot of people, so it's best to visit.
Yes. So I don't want them to come here and be disappointed, So yes. And probably those people, if they look here, they will look other places too in the province.
Yeah.
So, after you're here, you can visit a few others. You're not just coming for Smokey River region. I will be really surprised.
That's a fair point. For the visitors, if they need some sort of a invitation letter for this exploratory visit, is the town able to issue them like an invitation letter for IRCC?
I will assure them, yes.
Oh, okay.
Depending on the country for their visa, they don't need all a letter of invitation.
Yeah, not always, but for some countries that have a very high visa refusal rate, might be a good idea to strengthen their application. So the officer is convinced that their intent is genuine. Perfect.
The region, we have 2 towns, 2 villages, and 1 municipal district. Municipal district is more like countryside living.
Sorry to interrupt you. pardon me, for my information, and I guess for the information of anyone else listening as well, what is the main criteria of, like, what is the main distinction between a village and a town and a municipal district?
A municipal district is bigger because it's where you have all your farm. Here, the economy is based on grain farm. In northern Alberta, we are the third biggest agriculture region, and we are the smallest as footprint, but we are the third biggest agriculture region. Okay, our farm is huge. We don't have a lot of farmer. We have huge corporation. They all are grain farm, like canola, wheat. So we have a lot of services touching the farming industry.
Right.
And also the honey industry too, because our region is produce 40% of all the honey produced in Canada.
Wow, it's amazing.
And yes, and we have a high quality honey because of our long days. All in the municipal district is all the farm, the honey organization there too. And then the village, you just have a few services, and you have little, like the village of Géroville, for example, you have just under 300 people living there. So Donley is the same thing. It's 350 people living there. Then the town is a little bit more. The Falher is the business hub of the region. You have a lot of businesses in Falher, but you just have under 1,100 people living here. In Falher, you have the two schools. You have the emergent school from grade 1 to 6, and then you have the French school from kindergarten to grade 12. And the secondary high school is in Donley. McLennan has a school too. It's grade kindergarten until grade 6. McLennan, you have a hospital. The hospital services is in McLennan, and a lot of government services, they are in McLennan.
Last question for entrepreneur. It's a general question, more about demographics. What percentage of francophones do we have in this region, and is it like an important criteria to be bilingual?
It will be an asset. Yeah. But most of the business here, most of the business owner are English now. But we have a big Francophone community, but they are getting older now. Okay. Our demographic is, we have a lot of older people too.
Right.
It's pretty old, our demographic.
I see.
You know, between 18 years old to 35, we don't have a whole lot of people, because after kids done school, they leave for university, college, and then if they go to different job orientation that we don't have those service here, they stay to the city because they have job opportunity.
So that's a fair point, and I think I was just looking up Stat Canada. Just as a prep for our call. So it does seem like in the last 5 to 6 years, some population has decreased. Like there has been a little bit of a decline in the region, I think.
We have a decline since 20 years now. Every 5 years, we're losing population. So that's why we need the immigration, because a lot of businesses have trouble to find staff like everybody else. That's why we turn to the immigration to try to bring other people in.
Perfect. Thank you so much for explaining that. Thank you so much for your time, Ms. Chiasson.